Skydiving Ironing Fiasco. So, last Saturday started like any other weekend when my brother, Dave, called me up with an idea that was, in his words, so fresh it might just take the starch out of your day. Naturally, I was intrigued, because Dave's ideas are usually the kind of genius that would lead a person to invent the toaster oven. He told me he'd been inspired by a YouTube video on extreme ironing and had decided he was going to set a world record. As his younger brother, it was my familial duty to support him, even if I was fairly certain that ironing while skydiving wasn't exactly a skill the world needed. So, with a mixture of curiosity and mild concern, I agreed to help. We gathered a small crew of friends who were either enthusiastic about this ridiculous endeavor or just had nothing better to do on a Saturday. After a lengthy debate over the right iron to use, Dave was adamant that a steam iron was non-negotiable for maximum wrinkle elimination. We found ourselves at a local airfield. The plan was simple: he would jump out of a plane, open a small ironing board mid-air, and iron a shirt to perfection before landing. I half expected the shirt to be incinerated by the iron's heat or, at the very least, for him to emerge from the attempt with a hang-dry-only tattoo somewhere on his body. As we ascended in the tiny plane, Dave was a mix of nerves and determination. It was like watching someone nervously prepare to propose, but instead of a ring, he had a travel iron in hand. The moment came, and he leapt out with the grace of a majestic, albeit slightly confused, albatross. From the ground, we watched with bated breath as he actually managed to get the ironing board open and the shirt laid out. For a split second, it seemed like he might just pull it off. But then, as he was about to make the first crease, a gust of wind caught him, sending the ironing board into a nosedive. We could only watch in awe as the board fluttered away like a deflated kite. When Dave finally landed, slightly singed but mostly intact, he was met with a smattering of applause and more than a few sympathetic pats on the back. As we packed up, he sighed and said, "Guess the world just isn't ready for wrinkle-free skydiving." To which his friend Joe, never missing a beat, replied, "Well, Dave, maybe it's time to iron out the kinks before your next flight of fancy." And with that, we all burst into laughter, realizing that the true record Dave set that day was for the most creative way to have his plans get blown off course.